Hi. My plasma showed up today. My plasma cutter showed up today. I think a gentleman do two videos on this particular model, make and model. Unfortunately, didn't go in too many details, but what I saw I liked. Been on eBay, on Amazon, and I checked around several locations here in Central Ohio. So I found this one. Tell you the truth, what I liked about it was two things. Was the PSI regulator is inside the machine, and it's got a knob on top where you can adjust the PSI on it, and also the torch handle. What I saw in the video and what the advertisement, I like that one better than what was being sold. I personally paid $350, 350 for this machine. I went with the 30 amp plasma cutter because I am not going to anyway cut half-inch steel plate. I wanted something that's doable. Most of my cutting is going to be around the 16 to 20 gauge sheet metal. I will do some other little things, but nothing more than 1/4 of an inch. This should have no problem with that. I decided to go with this one because if I was ever going to cut 5/8, 1/2 inch, or even 1 inch thick steel, I would just go ahead and just use my oxy-fuel. And if I can get it back here, my oxy-fuel system. I would just use that. My dilemma was, go back here. My dilemma was I was using shears, electric shears, hand shears, jigsaws, cut off wheels on my angle grinder to cut sheet metal. Most of it was okay, slow, and I have used plasma cutters in the past. I had a CNC plasma cutter, and also I worked one place where they used plasma cutters cutting sheet steel. So I thought I'd take a chance and use this to do sheet cutting primarily. And again, I'm only going to use it on 16 to 20 gauge sheet steel. I'm going to unbox it now. This is the first time I cut the plastic off or the tape. I can open it up, but I have not taken it out of the box yet. I figured I'd do this to show everybody what exactly I got. Hopefully I get the angle right and distance right, and I can show you exactly what I've got. Tips. This was the torch handle I was talking to you about, referring to. I just thought that was a little bit better system than what the other plasma cutters at that cost was charging. This cover is a little impressive. I'm really impressed with that. And that is impressive. Put that up here. Tape off that. Manual clamps, air hose, and the ground clamp. I like that. That's substantial. Feels good. And I'll put this down here when This is a dual power source. It have the option of going 110, 220. I have a 220 outlet along with a 110 outlet, so that doesn't bother me. I'm going to probably use 220 all the time. Find it more efficient, but this is nice to have. Good long power cord, I'd say it's 6 feet long. On-off switch behind here. The regulator for the air is right here on top. Again, that was this torch handle and this regulator. I didn't like what was back there. I know I would break it off. But this regulator and this torch handle is what sold me on this machine. The machine seems to be in good working order. Some stains here, I don't know what they are, spit or something. Nothing major. Looks like someone tried to clean it off. I don't see any damage whatsoever to the body here. 2 power 4T cutting and detection. Then you've got your here for your, looks like it goes all just down to 20 amps. Then go down to 0, goes down to 20. Looks like 30. But, the torch handle, I would say, is a good 10, 12 foot long, which is plenty enough for me. And very easy to assemble. Looks like. The handle. Again, comes with an extra tip, electrode. Go inside. Looks like it's, yep, it's got one installed in it. One question I had for the guy I ordered it from, the plasma cutters I had would range from the volts that you wanted here. Say you wanted of course I think mine, the last one I had was 80 amps. I would go ahead and I'd change out the tips according to those amps I was going to use. So if I was going to crank this up to 30, I wanted to know if there was a difference between this tip and the 20 amp tip. And he said no, they're all the same, which I guess I've never bought one of these before, so I'd have to say that's normal. But that was another question. I might look, see if there are tips out there that I can put a 20 amp tip compared to a 30 amp tip. Might get a little bit better cutting that way. Manual I'll have to read. And like I said, looks like everything's operational. I haven't got the air hose hooked up. My little air compressor should work just fine. Again, my process or my purpose of this is sheet metal, cutting out designs that I would mark out on a flat piece of sheet metal, and I would cut it. What I was using was an angle grinder with a cutting wheel. A jigsaw. Works nice, I like that. Even got down to hand snips, shears, hand shears. And was something else. Where did I put that one at? Harbor Freight electric shears, right here. This is also what else I was using to cut sheet metal. If I got that on camera. All worked fine to a point, but very drawn out, very noisy. Again, I was very comfortable with a plasma cutter. I always thought they were in the hundreds, or I mean thousands of dollars, so I really never researched it. A couple months ago I started noticing that they're cheap. The Chinese ones were being sold anywhere for $2.99 or $150, all up to $300 or $400. I started looking at them. I even talked to a gentleman in Central Ohio about buying one. He was a dealer in one of them. And I ran across this on, I believe, on eBay. Wrote the name down, went on YouTube, watched a gentleman unbox his and use it, and he seemed to enjoy it. I liked the way it looked. Again, I like the gauge here, right here, adjusting the PSI and his torch handle. Within a couple of days, I'm hoping to do a video showing this cutting some sheet metal. So I hope to have that up too pretty soon. And thank you for watching.